G'day everybody and welcome to Brushes with Beck. In this video today I just want to talk about when it's time to give up on a piece of art and why I gave up on this particular piece of art that you see me drawing in this video here. This piece is from one of my own reference photos of a greater flamingo, and I really have always loved the photo and have imagined for a long time doing a piece of art from it. And so when I first sort of got back into art, I knew that from years ago that I really loved working on smooth papers and getting that lovely smooth result with coloured pencil. But if you've been watching my channel, you'll know over the past year I've been using a lot of textured paper like the Canson Matons and more recently the Clairefontaine Pastel Mat. So when I wanted to do this piece, I bought a pad of A3 sized it's actually a hot pressed watercolor paper from Fabriano, but it's the studio paper, not the Artistico paper. So it's actually quite a bit smoother, almost more like a Bristol paper. And while it is absolutely lovely, I actually found that I very much struggled with it. Now, the problem I had with this paper was mainly because it was so smooth. I found that it was harder to get an application of colour from the pencils, and because of that I found I was pressing harder than what I would have had to otherwise. And I do have troubles with my hand sometimes and tennis elbow, which gets exaggerated by me using too much pressure when I'm drawing, and that's a problem I used to have a lot when I was younger, and it's probably because I'm realising now because I was using a smoother paper, which makes it harder to apply colour because the paper isn't pulling or gripping the colour, the pigment from the pencil. So that was the first thing that really held me back on this piece, and I wasn't sure whether I was going to make it through the full A3 because I was doing a background as well as the bird, which took up over half the page from edge to edge. I was just exceedingly daunted by this whole process. So I continued on with the background, and I actually very nearly almost completed the background. And looking back at it, I realized that I hated how it turned out. It just didn't turn out how I wanted it to. It was more blotchier than I wanted it to be. I wanted the colours to sort of more blend more together. It was also a bit more purple than I wanted it to be. And I wanted it to be more sort of dark bluey green than purple bluey green. So I realized at that point that I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue, which I absolutely detested because I've always been somebody who, even if I'm not sure if a piece is turning out, I like to push on through till the end and see how it goes. Because I find that, one, it really helps to help me learn new techniques and develop my skills for correcting mistakes, but it also helps me work through the process knowing that a piece can be I'll say ugly before it becomes beautiful, before you get that beautiful end result. But just looking at this one, I wasn't sure. So I actually set it aside for a while. I pulled it back out and I tried to start the rest of the work on the background, and I realized that really the texture of the paper was simply holding me back from being able to complete it. And as I said before, realizing that the bird is basically 2/3 of the piece of paper, and I hadn't even started on the bird, I just knew that this piece just wasn't going to work for me. So I had to make the unfortunate decision that I don't like to do, that I wasn't going to finish this piece. And that really bothered me because I do, as I said, I do like pushing through to the end of a piece every time, no matter what. But this one has me beat. So how do you know when it's time to give up on a piece? And that really is quite a personal decision. I mean, I know a lot of people, you might give up on something halfway because you realize you've gotten your proportions wrong. And that's fine. That can be problematic because you may not always be able to fix proportions if you've gone in really dark or really light in some areas and you aren't able to correct those areas without it being seen. But apart from that, if you think your image is in an ugly stage or you think you're not sure if it's overworked or underworked, that's not a reason to stop. Just keep pushing through. Push through and push through. Keep working on it. And you might be surprised at how it turns out in the end. If you really are struggling with the paper, like I was here, then, don't make yourself do something that is detrimental to your health. Like with my hand and my arm having problems with working on a smoother paper because I have to press too hard to apply the colour to get it as strong as I would like. If it's causing problems with your health to complete a piece, don't keep going with it. You are not going to love every piece that you do. I enjoy working on pretty much all the pieces, but some of them it's really like, oh, why am I doing this? This is very tedious. But in my opinion, that's not a reason to give up. That's even more reason to push through to see that end result, because that is so rewarding in my mind. But ultimately, like I said, the decision's up to you. If you're not happy with where a piece is going, by all means, start it again. I just personally feel that if I'm stopping a piece before I'm done, I'm not properly learning from it. If I don't like it at the end, absolutely I can redraw it then. But how do I know what I don't like about it if I don't finish it all the way through till the end? So that's what I'll say is my artist rant for this week. I know it's not a very informative video, but I do hope you found it interesting all the same, because like I said, giving up on a piece is not something that I enjoy doing, and I certainly don't do it very regularly at all. But in this instance, I simply had to give up on this one. What I would love to do, actually, because I still have my sketch and I still have my tracing on my tracing paper, I'm hoping to get another piece of white pastel matte paper, and I'm going to retransfer the sketch to that and try this piece on there, because I think it could turn out really lovely. I think it would have been beautiful on the smooth paper. I think it would have had a beautiful soft touch, but I wasn't able to do it. I felt utterly defeated by it, and I hate it. But it is what it is. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video or gotten something from it this week. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below. Tell me, have you ever given up on a piece that you've done before? Why did you give up on it? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next week for another video. Stay creative.